what we are going to do is enable flow log for this instance or this subnet. I mean, we can do either way. And what we will do is continue from last week, where we will access the public instance from our desktop and we'll make some traffic over to private instance and try and see whether those traffic are captured. Or if you want to make it simple, we can enable the flow logs at the public subnet. We can make a quick traffic and see if the traffic gets captured. Let's see what we can do. So we have from a VPC level. Sorry, if anyone has any questions. Sorry, I didn't ask. Which so far we have discussed. Okay, I'll take it to now. We'll get to creating the flow logs. So we have two VPCs. So this is our default VPC and this is the private VPC we created. So let's create a flow log at a VPC level. So we're creating VPC at the flow log here at this level. So standard default name, the filter. So the filter lets you to capture whether all requests or all information traffic that's flowing in, or only the accept or reject. So it depends upon your architecture. We can pick and choose what we want. If you are looking for a full-fledged diagnostic type of environment, all is recommended. But if you are only looking at managing your infrastructure on an exceptional basis, where you have much tighter controls, then reject would be much more suited. Again, depending upon the architecture you're looking at, you can choose. For our case, we're choosing all. The aggregation is, again, what is the duration for which it has to cycle up and capture the logs. So the less you're going to keep, the more logs you're going to have. The destination, where do we store or send the CloudWatch, the VPC Flow Logs to? So default is the CloudWatch logs, which is a much simpler way to look and manage. You can also send it to an S3 bucket where you can do a much deeper analysis. Then you have to create a bucket. You have to have an IAM role to it. All those things need to be configured to go to the S3 bucket. For our exercises, we're going to store in the CloudWatch logs to see how it works. Destination log group. So the CloudWatch logs need to have a specific log groups within which you store your logs. So here we wouldn't have any log groups. So what we have to do is we have to go to CloudWatch. Logs, we wouldn't have any. So log groups, action, create a log group. Say, demo log group. Okay. Let's go back to the flow logs. Let's click refresh. So now we'll be able to see. So basically what we are saying is telling flow log where to store the logs within the CloudWatch. Because CloudWatch, you can use it for different monitoring and capturing logs from different sources. So basically it's like a folder within the CloudWatch where we are going to store the logs from VPC. IAM role. So like any other AWS services, you need to have permission to be able to capture information, store information across services. So we won't necessarily have an IAM role. What we have to do is go to IAM. Roles, create a role. So it's a service role for EC2 instance. We're in here. So the filter we chose was all. The aggregation was 10 minutes. The destination, we wanted to get that saved in the CloudWatch logs. We created a log group. IA room, sorry, that's where we were, right? Okay. So there was no role before. So this is for CloudWatch. Okay, let's give CloudWatch full access. Not necessary, we can give read-only access, but for simplicity, I'm giving full access for this IAM role. Right. Okay, let's go back to flow log, refresh. So we can see the IAM role that we just created, and it creates an ARN, which is the unique identity for an Amazon resource. Okay, back to right. So what we have done now is we have created the flow log at the VPC level. As you can see, this is the flow log ID, the default ID that gets. The filter we chose was all, destination where it's going to save, name that we gave, ARM aggregation, status active. So which means now it has started to capture, but it might take anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes to appear. So what we will do is we'll simulate some traffic meanwhile to know the public IP first while that gets launched. Data EC2 user. So these are the standard configuration we need to say first. What is the target IP that we are trying to connect, the port, and the data where you give the username. Different AMIs have different usernames, but the most common one, especially the types that we are launching, the standard username is EC2 user. And then finally, we have to refer the private key for authentication file. So wherever we have stored it, we have to give the location. Right. So it gives a standard warning. Right. So we are in there now. If we look at our architecture, we have enabled the VPC level flow log, and we are performing certain activity here. But before that, let's look at the subnet, whether is there a flow log enabled for it, or is it inheriting from the VPC one, just to make sure when our logging gets captured. So flow logs. So as you can see, we did not create a flow log for the subnet. What it is doing is automatically inheriting the one that we created at the VPC level. We can also try doing ping from my desktop. So we are generating different type of traffic. So we created an SSH traffic. Now we have pinged. Simply what we have done is we have enabled the flow logs at the VPC level, and we have simulated a traffic by connecting to the public subnet and try to SSH it, try to ping it, try to generate different type of traffic. So hopefully that should generate some traffic which would be captured by flow log and reflected